guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan. Well, we made it home for Thanksgiving and thought I'd do a quickie here in the shop for you guys for your Saturday morning. There's not going to be any videos for a couple weeks on the powder coating line, but it feels good to be back in the shop. And thought I'd do a quickie here today. I have a reoccurring job and I need some V blocks. So I bought some. These are from Shars. Not particularly expensive, but I want to put a keyway in them. And they've got a unique situation here, and I thought I'd go over it. We'll show them on the bench and then show how to put a keyway in them accurately and index the keyway to an existing V block. You know, I don't want to have to regrind them. I've already checked them. They were pretty accurate, but I do want to key them so they drop into the mill and hold shafts parallel to the axes of the machine. So let's see what it takes to index onto an existing V groove. Okay, well here's your pair of V blocks here, and you'll see they're actually surface ground on the bottom and in the V groove and up here on these tops, but the ends are just rough. Looks like a rough milling job on both ends. And you know, I checked them on the surface plate with this shafting, and this is a precision ground shafting. It's a 1045 TGP, which means turn, ground, and polish. So it's a ground finish, and it's very accurate. It's what we use for blower shafts and stuff like that. And that's actually what's going to get machined in these V blocks. And I've checked them for height, you know, off a surface plate from the bottom to the top of this round rod. I checked them individually for parallelism. So I'm going to check it here and here. And then I'm going to check it here and here for parallelism. I'm going to check them for equality. Make sure this one is equal to this one in height when I come in and measure here. And I come in and measure here. I want to be within a few tenths, which I am. Parallelism is within a couple of tenths on one of them, and it's pretty much spot on the other. What is not equal are these ends. If I take this surface, take this V block, and I clamped it in, measure it this way, check the shaft, it's way out of whack. And if you flip it all the way over, check it this way, it's way out of whack. Same with the other one. So these end pieces are not a reliable surface. Now I could take the time to grind it, but I'm not ever going to use these as indexing. I want to put a key in the bottom that's even with the V groove. So how do you measure that? How do I make sure my keyway on the bottom of these blocks is on center with my existing V block? How do we set it up? This was an interesting setup. I had to think about it a little bit, but I'm going to show you on the milling machine. And as soon as you see it, you're going to go, oh yeah, that's the way to do it. So I'm going to show you the setup on the milling machine and how we're going to mill these key slots. Okay, so we're over at the milling machine and we got the vise opened up wide, and you know, we can take our V block, drop it in there easily enough, and we can machine our key slot across here. The trouble is finding the center of that V groove to index our key slot. So what are we going to do? Thought about it for a long time. Machining it's not the problem. Getting the keyway in the right place is the problem. So I came up with this. And if anyone's got a better way, leave it down in the comments. A couple of 1, 2, 3 blocks. And the same shaft I was using to measure with. It's going to go right across those two 1, 2, 3 blocks. And then this guy just comes down back where it was, very carefully. And we need to square up and settle everything in, make sure our vice jaws are end up parallel and this thing's not rocking this way, and we'll actually indicate across this top. And we need to make sure we're down all the way. So this rod is going to hit, come down and hit both of the 1, 2, 3s the same on my vise bed. And, we're just going to tap it in. And then what this does, my part's clamped in securely enough to make me a 5/8 key slot here. But now I can come down and I can indicate rod left, rod right, center it up, and then transfer that up to here and cut my V-groove. So this is the best way I could think of to index off of an existing keyway. So let me do some indicating, and then we're ready for some milling. Okay, so we've clamped it in the vise. We've tapped it all down. Both of our 1, 2, 3s are secure. Shaft doesn't turn, so we know it's tapped down tight. And then we're checking it for. Gonna run it across and check it for parallelism in both directions. And I've already done it. We're happy. So that's finished. We've ran it in the X and in the Y. We're going to check, we're going to come down and get the edges of this shaft on both sides and make sure that they're equal by equal. And then we're ready to mill right on center line of the existing V-groove without having to regrind or redo anything. And we're ignoring these ugly faces on the end that don't really mean anything. We don't really use those as a reference surface when these things are in use the way I'm going to use them. If they were going to be used to against the V-groove, I'd probably be set to do some regrinding, but that's not the purpose of these. Well, I actually had to knock the vise around a little because this wasn't running parallel to the axis of the machine in this direction because of this crummy surface right here. So I actually had to knock the vise around a little bit to square it up. But I got it running good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that way my keyways, otherwise my keyway would be in here, cocked this way. So we're not looking for that. I'm going to trim this top one more time, find center, and away we go. So we're going to a depth of 125 thousandths. In 50 thousandths increments, except for the last cut. We'll make that a 25 thou pass. We're at 100 thousandths now, and we're just cutting a real shallow groove. I don't want to weaken this area a bunch, so I'm just putting in a real shallow keyway, and we're going to drill it and tap it and bolt the key in. And here's your 25 thou for a total of 125 thou depth of cut. And there it is. Okay, well the slot's done. I decided to just put one in the center, one 1032 in the center. That'll hold this key in just fine. All right. So that one's finished. Like I said, I just need to make a key. I think I'll get about 3 out of that one, but it's slightly oversized. It needs to be machined down. It's just a bandsaw cut. So I do need to make a key. I need to repeat the process on the other V block, but I'm not going to bore you with that. And we'll bring you back for a final wrap up of how we did. And our method of indexing with a shaft sitting in there, indexing left, right, using the center function, going up and getting your key slot done. Okay, so there you have it, a couple of 5/8 keys. Everyone knows how to make those. It's just a little rectangle. So those are done deal. And we already know those are ready to go in the slots. So the table, I already checked them against that, but I'll give you an idea what they do. I'm just going to index in there, and I made them with about a 1/1000 slip fit, so you'll get a little bit. Maybe hear that clunk in there, not much. Anyways, I'll slide up and down the axis of the table, and for dropping shafts in. And then when you do your pinch work on the shaft, when you bring your hold downs in, just kind of bring them over the V-block. I'll pinch everything together. Now I'm going to warn you that for this to work, you need to check your T-slots and make sure they are parallel with the axis of the machine. Mine are known to be parallel. So for this to work, it's definitely what you need. But I needed a set of blocks that are keyed for doing some work, and these fit the bill. Okay, guys, well, I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving with their families and their loved ones. A couple people sent me emails for asking me about my truck. There's about $8,000 worth of damage on the truck, $8,100, and the insurance company over where I'm working is in the state I'm working in is trying to total it over an $8,000 repair. And I don't know whether I caught them in time. I don't know whether I can reverse the process, but if they total my truck, then I got a salvage title, and it's absolutely worthless. It knocks about a third off the price if you got a salvage title, which kind of burned me up. I've been offered $22,000 for that truck, and I turned it down. I've got a lot of money into it, in the drive line and in the axles and in the free spin kit, and I just put a premium stereo in it. It just goes on and on, the money I put in that truck. And it is a highly desirable truck. It is a pre-emissions 5.9 Cummins, no rust, never been back east except till now, but I haven't driven it in the snow or the salt, more importantly. But that's the update on my truck. I'm trying to get the insurance company to reverse the total and the salvage title, and I'm trying to get them to just drop the claim, and I'll just pay cash for the repair. I don't care at this point. I just want my truck fixed. I've been treated very poorly by Progressive Insurance. All right, just thought I'd pop that in there. Watch your butt if you're going to deal with those people. They do stuff without your permission, and you don't just automatically total a vehicle and not tell the owner before you do it. It may mean something to them. It may be a keepsake. It may have more value than they think it does. They totally lowballed me, and I smell a rat. I think somebody wants my truck back there. I've already been approached a couple of times in a parking lot just by a perfect stranger. Hey, buddy, you want to sell your truck? And the answer is always the same, no. So that's the update on the truck. Hope you enjoyed the shop video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We'll try to squeeze one out next week too and get you something to look at next week before we go back to the job. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.